Hey, this is Marcus Washington, MTC Media. So, just something to Pablo Torre. I know you're feeling yourself, but brother, you need to start piping down because you're starting to get the skis over your head, bud. So I understand that he's feeling himself breaking this thing with the Clippers and all this sort of stuff, and that's fine because it does need to be investigated by the league. But when you start doing this, well, if the league doesn't agree with my conclusion or you don't agree with my conclusion, then that says a lot about you. That says that Adam Silver has no integrity. That says that you aren't smart enough to understand what's in front of you. That's dangerous. Because Pablo, you ain't that guy. It's great that you have worked hard, you've gotten yourself in the position you have, very well earned, the whole nine. You're not that guy because you're the one who sounds like you're ignorant. Because we have not come close to receiving, nor has the league, all of the evidence to be evaluated, to be able to come to a credible conclusion. We just have your part. And now you're telling everyone, well, if you don't agree with my part, then that means you have no integrity or oh, you're not smart enough to know. No, it's not. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because you're not that guy. You're not that person. You're not a person who is so over the top intelligent that there's no way anyone can disagree with me, because if you were that smart, you would say, this is what I have. This is what it looks like. But you know what? I'm not going to draw any sort of conclusions until we get everything. When we get everything, then I think this is where we're headed. But I can't say that until I have everything. No, but that's not what you're saying. You're saying that if everyone doesn't agree with you, then somehow that's a sign of their intelligence or lack thereof. That's a sign of Adam Silver's integrity or lack thereof. As I've said before, and I'll say this again, there is a difference between a salary cap violation and circumvention of the salary cap. They're not the same thing. Then I would think that Pablo Torre, as intelligent as he tells everyone that he is, would understand the difference between the two because it's pretty simplistic. But it seems like his ego and his arrogance and his wanting of attention has gotten in the way of clear thought. Now, when this is all said and done, and all the evidence is there, especially if Adam Silver makes the independent investigation public, that will put everyone at a point of reading through it and coming up with their own conclusion. And here's the thing, and I don't want to talk down to Pablo, but maybe Pablo doesn't understand this either. There's very easily where I can get all the evidence and say the Clippers have violated the salary cap. Whether they circumvent the salary cap is inconclusive. If you ask my opinion, did they circumvent the salary cap? I would say yes. I think I have enough circumstantial evidence that leads that way. And you can be that way and talk about this in an educational sense and understand that because I believe that and is largely based on circumstantial, that doesn't mean that Adam Silver has to say that there was a conclusive ending or a conclusive judgment to that part of the investigation. Smart people do it all the time. And I don't know if Pablo understands that. I would like to think that he understands that. I would like to think that some of his idiocy that I've heard is ego driven because he's feeling himself. Because if he can't understand the simplistic difference between that, and he can't evaluate information and come up with a conclusion that looks like that, if that's what the information shows, then he needs to pipe down and he needs to get off the TV. He needs to quit yapping his mouth because he's the one who's the idiot in the room, even though he thinks that he's the smartest one. So why don't you pipe down? Why don't you quit feeling yourself? And why don't you let this process run its course before you start demanding what people should and should not think? This is Marcus Washington, MTC Media.